Hey guys, Patrick Wind here, and welcome to this training model in which I'm going to present you the 20 secrets for high converting ad designs. In this model, we're going to walk through this entire checklist of 20 very valuable and insightful points that we have gathered from Adespresso, Web Profits, and of course we have combined it with our own know-how and experience of over the past years working very closely with the algorithm of Facebook and Instagram. So let's get started. What are the secrets that make the big difference between an ad that converts very nicely and a standard ad that does not convert that well? So first, you really have to test multiple designs. There is no magic recommendation of you have to do it this way or that way and it will work for you. No, the only way to find it out is always test everything. At least 2 to 4 different images or copies. That's the bloody truth. So there is no such thing as the 100% guarantee that some creative or image will work. The only thing you have to do is you have to test, and always test between 2 and 4 different images and copies at least. Then, of course, the better you can tailor your different options is the better it is. So if you use a buyer persona, that's of course very recommendable. Then include the social proofs. So a great social proof that reduces fear are testimonials from famous people. So if you don't have testimonials, if you don't have famous testimonials, then you can leverage your large user base, for example. So 2 things if you don't have famous testimonials. First, you could use, you can state the big number of your user base. For example, we already have over 5,000 happy customers. Or you could also do, you could also use a standard, a normal person, a normal customer as a testimonial, which is also very powerful. Then use clear call to actions. So adding a call to action to your Facebook ad might not increase your click-through rate or make your ad more engaging, but it's likely to improve your overall conversion rate and decrease your cost per conversion. So very important to have in mind that you use a call to action already within your copy, right? So not only the standard call to action that is right below the video, but also call to actions, clickable call to actions already in your copy. Then of course, including stunning visual elements. So the visual elements of your ad are probably the most important. Visuals are processed by the brain 60,000 times faster than text. Okay, digest that information. Visuals are processed by the brain 60,000 times faster than text, with 90% of information transmitted to the brain being visual. Okay, a good strategy is to use Instagram-like filters on your pictures. That is super important, guys. So it really clearly states once again the importance of visual elements. And it also demonstrates that using emojis is an interesting test that you have to include in your A/B testing here, because they're more visual and will be faster processed by the brain than just text. And that is basically one of the key points to have a focused value proposition. A unique value proposition is essential to any successful Facebook ad. So this is a clear statement that describes the benefit of your offer, the problem you solve for your customer, and why you're different. And if you don't have a unique value proposition, then go in your room and think about it very clearly, because that's the first thing that you have to know. Without knowing what is the problem they actually solve for your potential customer and why you're different than all the competitors, you won't be able to create a successful Facebook ad, because benefiting your specific offer in your creative and also in your copy is crucial. Then focus on your user's rational and emotional sides. So we both know that our brain has 2 sides, and the emotional side has a lot to say when it comes to buying. Our emotional self doesn't care about features. The part of us wants benefits. Okay, but of course you also want to work with the rational side, which of course wants features and not only benefits. But try to play both, or test it. Okay, so in one copy or creative you focus on the features of your products, and in the other one you focus more on the benefits. So more lifestyle photos, happy people. Here it's more about product features. When it comes to consistency will reduce friction and help your users complete the desired action. If someone clicks on your ad, he or she should end up on a landing page that reinforces what they saw in the ad. So be consistent not only with your design, but also with your language. So first of all, if you have an English ad, bringing it to a Spanish or French website is not recommendable. Okay, and of course the language should be consistent, but also the design and the kind of language you use. So very aggressive sales language, and then on your website you're not that selly anymore. That's not recommendable. Be consistent throughout the entire customer journey. Post the right ad in the right place. So correct placement for Facebook ads is critical, and ideally you want to optimize your design for each placement. So of course we have desktop and Facebook desktop and Facebook mobile newsfeed. We have right column with Instagram feeds, we have Instagram stories, and of course you want to use the right design optimized for each placement. One very important tip is credibility. Tap into benefits or results. So just like on a sales page, your Facebook ad should promise a result or outcome to your prospects. The use of benefits, features, and results have long been an effective way to market and produce service offerings. So of course, you should communicate here your benefits and results. And then one of my favorite topics, color psychology. Okay, 90% of all the snap judgments that we make about products can be traced back to color according to study and management decision. So older people like blue, purple, and green, while younger people are more into yellow, red, and orange. So think about that. Who is my target audience? Are they rather old or are they rather young? If they're rather old, well then go ahead and play around with blue, purple, and green colors. If they're rather young, play around with the other ones. Okay, point that down. And it's not only about the style you use on your website, but it's also on the actual creatives for the Facebook ad, using a different filter, which is rather for the old people, or a filter is rather for the young people, using specific colors of the t-shirts, the outfits that people wear in your ads. Everything comes down to color psychology. So most people have dislike the color orange, so don't use orange too much. But if you're focusing on young people, then yellow and red, and it comes down to appropriateness and fit. It's not a silver bullet. So of course, be careful when applying it always, all the time, but just have in mind that older and younger people, they differ a lot on that. Use location-specific imagery. For example, I'm organizing an event in Barcelona right now, and of course, I'm showing the image of the harbor in Barcelona because it's location specific, and people can resonate easier with that because it's more relevant for them. So one of the great things about Facebook advertising is that it's easy to set up multiple campaigns for different target groups. And of course, you don't have to change the content for all of them, but if you try it and try to match to the geographic region in your targeting, it's of course definitely worth including in your A/B test. So showing in geographic or location-specific imagery. Then use the power of free without giving your product away. Here what we strongly recommend is something like free delivery or free express delivery. So if you're already offering free delivery, then I'll give them free express delivery as a reason why they should click on the ad, because people are always looking for free stuff. When used in advertising, can be incredibly effective. Using testimonials from a customer, that's what we have already mentioned, that of course the best sales don't come from direct sales but from recommendation. That's of course a very strong idea. And use the intersection of interests. What this means basically is if you have people interested in your audience if you have people in your audience that are interested in yoga, well then show them a yoga related creative for this specific group. If you have people within your audience that are interested into tattoos, well then the people should then the testimonials, then the actual models in your ads should have tattoos. If you have people who are interested in skating, well, then it would be a good idea to include a skateboard in the background. Okay, so the intersection of interest is very powerful because it makes your ad much more relevant to your potential audience. Then use people and faces. That's one of my favorite points because I use it a lot, because there is a specific group of cells in your brain that fire only when we see a face. And then there's also the well-known psychological effect that even has a name, that causes humans to look for faces in everyday objects like stoves and toilets. We see like smileys, we see eyes, whatever. So it's very, very deep in our nature that we prefer to see people and especially faces. So really, if you have a product, play around with that. Do not show just standard objects or whatever. Really always include people and especially their faces. And the more skin you show, the better. Scarcity and urgency, here it comes down to a very important psychological effect, the principle of loss aversion. We feel bad when we miss out on getting something, but we feel even worse about losing. And when you see an urgent opportunity arise, we don't want to lose and slip through our fingers. So including scarcity and urgency, for example, could mean that you grab the audience attention with a deal that includes some of those ultimate words like limited time, only today, hurry, act now, rush, last chance. So with the scarcity and urgency, which is especially relevant when it comes to retargeting, here we really want to give people the opportunity that they get this special offer just now. Okay, and mix it up with videos. So do not only use single images, but also use videos, because according to current estimates, video ads will be responsible for 55% of total ad revenue by 2019 on Facebook. They place a lot of focus on that the more dynamic your material is, the better it is for Facebook. Of course, if you don't have two cool videos produced, you can always use your single images and put them into slideshows, and then it's also going to be seen as a video. And then the last 2 points, of course, mobile optimization. Facebook mobile ads make up to 79%, so almost 80% of the entire business, and the figure is not surprising, and many people only access it on a mobile device. So as so many times, mobile first, also when it comes to your creative. And then last but not least, that's a special trick that we really like to use when it comes to copies. Use the ultimate power words. So there was a study done already back in the 60s that derived those power words that you have here listed, like for example, improvement, amazing, sensational, bargain, hurry, suddenly. You can read them on your own. Including them in your copy makes it more appealing and makes it more powerful to you, for your ads. So guys, please go ahead, download the checklist of the 20 secrets for high converting ad designs, and what's even more important, apply them already right now to your own campaigns in order to get higher converting ads. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.